Welcome back, and welcome to one of the most actionable, practical, and honestly underrated parts of the Solve Bigger Problems mindset. You've come a long way through this journey. You understand why problems matter, why scale matters, why tools matter, and why spotting and framing problems sets you apart. Now here's the piece that turns all of that insight into real-world momentum. You don't need permission to start solving problems. You don't need a title. You don't need an employer. You don't even need experience. You just need to start small, really small. Because that's the missing piece, the shift that turns ideas into action and learners into doers. It's tempting to wait, to think you need a bigger stage, a bigger opportunity, or a bigger role before you start solving anything. Maybe you're waiting for a big job title, a fancy internship, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a team, a budget, or the right conditions. But here's the truth. The people who become great problem solvers don't wait for the big stuff. They start solving whatever is right in front of them. A clunky spreadsheet, an annoying workflow, a confusing sign-up form, a messy student group process, a family routine that never seems to run smoothly. Small problems build big skills, because solving anything, no matter how small, teaches you something powerful. How to observe, how to diagnose, how to test, how to adjust, how to deliver value. That's how real problem solvers begin, quietly, locally, practically, long before the world ever asks them to solve something big. Let's talk about why starting small is not just okay, it's essential. Solving small, everyday problems builds the skills, confidence, and momentum you're going to need when it's time to tackle the big, complex challenges later on. And here's the part most people forget. Every big thinker you admire, every innovator, every leader, every high-impact professional, they all started small. A UX designer didn't begin by redesigning major platforms. They started by helping a friend fix a confusing website form. A project manager didn't begin by running multi-million-dollar initiatives. They started by organizing a messy group project in school. A data analyst didn't begin with advanced dashboards for giant organizations. They began by cleaning a messy spreadsheet for a volunteer group. These small problems matter because they require real thinking. They deliver real value, and they build real evidence that you're a doer, not just a dreamer. Every small solution strengthens your foundation. Every quick fix sharpens your instincts. Every little improvement teaches you how to see problems clearly, break them down, test ideas, and make things better. And that's exactly what prepares you for the bigger stages ahead. There's a hidden power in starting small, a psychological advantage most people underestimate. When you solve a small problem, your brain registers it as a win, a completed loop, a moment of closure, a clear signal. I can do this. And that win does something important. It creates confidence, and confidence fuels action. Action leads to progress. Progress creates motivation. Motivation drives bigger action. And bigger action leads to bigger solutions, bigger opportunities, and eventually, bigger impact. This is the natural cycle of momentum, and momentum is what builds mastery. Not one giant breakthrough, not one major opportunity landing in your lap, but a series of small wins that stack, strengthen, and sharpen you over time. Start small, win small, and watch how quickly things begin to scale. So what exactly counts as a small problem? The kind you can start solving this week without waiting for permission, resources, or a title. Here are some simple, real examples. Your school club is totally disorganized. Create a basic task board that keeps everyone aligned. Your sibling is struggling with budgeting. Build a simple budgeting template they can actually use. You keep forgetting what groceries to buy. Set up a shared checklist app so the whole household stays in sync. People complain about your student portal. Record a quick feedback video and propose a clearer interface. A campus group has low engagement. offer to design better posts, better layouts, or better events. These aren't massive projects. They don't require a team or a budget, but they solve real problems for real people. And remember, no project is too small if it genuinely makes someone's life easier. Let's talk about why solving small problems is more than just helpful. It's training. Real training, the kind that builds the exact muscles you'll need later on. Because when you solve even the smallest problem, you're practicing skills that scale. You're practicing how to spot issues, noticing what others overlook. You're practicing how to design solutions, thinking creatively about what might make things better. You're practicing how to test your ideas, trying, adjusting, improving. You're practicing how to communicate your value, explaining what you fixed and why it matters. You're practicing how to work with others, coordinating, sharing, collaborating, refining. And above all, you're practicing learning by doing, not by waiting, guessing, or overthinking. Here's the part that surprises people. These are the exact same steps used to solve million-dollar business challenges. The only difference is scale. A messy spreadsheet today becomes a data pipeline tomorrow. A small UX fix today becomes a full product redesign in the future. A simple workflow improvement today becomes an operational overhaul later. Every small problem is a rehearsal. Every small win is a step closer to the big leagues. Now it's time to turn everything you've learned into action. This week's challenge is simple, practical, and incredibly powerful if you take it seriously. Step 1. Find a small problem around you. Look at your school, your home, your workplace, an app you use, or your community. Ask yourself, what's annoying? What's inefficient? What's confusing? What do people complain about again and again? And most importantly, what's something you could improve in just 2 or 3 hours? Keep it small, keep it doable, keep it real. Step 2. Take one action to solve it, just one. Propose a fix, build a simple system, design a prototype, record a quick Loom video, organize a short meeting, create a checklist or a small tool, anything that makes the situation a little better than it was before. Action is the goal, not perfection. Step 3. Write it down. Document the problem. Document what you tried. Document the result, even if it wasn't perfect. Because what you've just created is more than a note. It's your first real-world case study. A piece of proof. Evidence that you're someone who doesn't just think about solving problems, you actually solve them. And that's the skill that changes everything. Before we wrap this chapter, I want you to take a moment and sit with one simple question. What's a small problem I've solved before but didn't realize it counted? Maybe you organized a chaotic group chat. Maybe you fixed a confusing form. Maybe you helped someone understand a concept. Maybe you created a shortcut that saved you time. Whatever it was, write about it. Because if you've ever improved something for someone, even for yourself, you're already on the journey. You've already demonstrated the instincts of a problem solver. Now it's time to do it intentionally and consistently. If you purchased the Problem Spotting Journal, this is the perfect moment to use it again. Log the small problem you identified. Frame it clearly. Write down the steps you took to solve it. Reflect on what worked and what you'd improve next time. This is how you grow your skill set, one real problem at a time. And remember, every big problem solver starts exactly where you are. Start here, fixing a messy doc, making a checklist, helping a peer study, writing a feedback post. Grow into this, managing a team dashboard, designing a user experience, leading an online course, launching a consulting offer. Don't underestimate your starting point. Big rewards begin with small wins. And those small wins start today, not after graduation, not after you feel ready, not after someone gives you permission. You're building the foundation right now.